What would you be thinking if you were in the Dallas Cowboy locker room right now?
I would be thinking, like Cancun sounds great, but the beaches aren't that nice. Like I'm more of a British Virgin Island guys.
Okay.
Guy, and I feel like I would be looking down there, like at Virgin Gorda or something like that, because like Cancun's great and the whole thing, and there's a lot of fun things to do. But I don't want to just sit at the beach. The surf can get kind of big. You get the red flags out there. You can't even get in the water. I would be looking in the Caribbean.
Okay, very good. So other than travel plans, you're cleaning out your locker.
Yeah, no, I mean, it really doesn't. I think if you're a Dallas Cowboy, like as a football player, it's kind of impossible unless you've been there the whole time. Like say somebody like Dak, you don't feel you feel the pressure, but you don't feel all these losses that like Jerry Jones has felt since 2000. We went through this just a second ago, and this is going to blow your mind, or maybe it doesn't, but he's had enough. And I think this is where you take a big swing at, say, like a Bill. I think if you're Atlanta, you were rooting for Dallas to win that game because that if they lose that game, everybody's going to be putting Bill in Dallas, and maybe Bill likes Dallas. But if you're Jerry Jones, think about what you've watched this century. 2006, Romo fumbles the ball. 2007, you had Romo on the beach with Jessica Simpson. You're the first team since the playoffs expanded to lose as the number 1 seed in the divisional round. 2009, 34-3 to the Vikings. So bad Wade Phillips thought you were rubbing the score in. Then you get Dez caught it in 2014, and this is where it gets crazy. 2016, you got this rookie quarterback, Dakota Prescott. You got Zeke Elliott. We got hope. Even if we lose this game to an MVP candidate, it's Dak's first start in the playoffs. You know how that game ended. It was Aaron Rodgers' magic. You probably felt like the Texans feel like right now in 2016, like we're going to be special. We're going to be here a while. But 7 years later, guys, you lose to that same team who replaced that MVP candidate from 2016 with a guy making his first start, and he beats your MVP candidate. And now you have to fire the coach from the other sideline in 2016. So you've tried everything. And if I was Jerry, I wouldn't continue to try put all my eggs in the basket of like, when Tony was done, everybody was like, Dak's going to be different. They were both 2-4 in the playoffs going into yesterday. Now Dak's 2-5. So, I think it's crazy that you're right back where you started, where you replaced Tony Romo. And I'm not saying that's 100% that you replaced Dak, and I don't want to take anything away from him. A month or two ago before the Buffalo game, I said, he might deserve the MVP, but the MVP is not an assurance that you're the guy of the future. I've seen Tua was in the MVP race. There's plenty of guys that have been talked about as MVP caliber players because they have these great seasons. But if you'd have told me this is going to end like this, what does that even matter? This was bad.
So, and the thing about Belichick, I even, had my moment on the Twitter machine during the game when it was 20-0. I put out that GIF from the combine of Belichick grabbing a chip, eating it, and then putting up his binoculars to look at the field. But it does seem to make sense because Bill, if he's going to want to join a team, I would think he'd want to join Dallas with a ton of great defensive parts, with a quarterback that you don't have to do anything except maybe imbue your sensibilities into, right? The issue is, though, if you fire McCarthy, the play caller during the season, he was terrific, right?
He was a good play caller, man. So he was a good play caller, and that's why I think it kind of falls on the quarterback too. And like if you're looking at doing a full reset, like so be it. But I don't think it's as automatic a decision for Bill. You'd have to first backtrack and say what motivates Bill at this point. Mm-hmm. Bill just wants to prove that he can win, right? Like I would think. And I look at Atlanta and I look at the division. Right. You could be coaching against whoever David Tepper hires, Dennis Allen possibly and Todd Bowles. Like you have an advantage there right away. That division's not great. And, you talk about pass catchers, the thing they haven't had in New England. Like they have some guys down there in Atlanta now. You also have to think like, would I rather work with Jerry Jones or Arthur Blank? And I don't know. That's something you'd have to ask Bill. I don't think anybody knows the answer to that. But when Bill respects somebody, he really does. And I think he could work with an owner that he respects. And also, like, McKay in Atlanta, like, he might look at that as a positive. McKay's really well respected. Guy's been around a long time. The GM wasn't even at the press conference, so he's not going to be in the way. It just comes down to what the organizational structure, I think, is for Bill.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.